and welcome to Coastal Living Down Under Australia, where we're going to be doing our own homemade soaps today. We're going to do both a two-tone, so a clear top and a white base. We're going to use some colours. It's going to be a bit of an all-round. We're also going to use some natural products here, like our freshly dried and picked lavender, as well as we've got some rose petals and some store-bought lavender. And here we've also got some gold leaf, which we're going to use as well. So enjoy the tutorial. We also have some of the alcohol spray to show you how to use that when you're making these soaps. So basically we're going to get started. We're going to chop up our soap and cut it into small, manageable sections. The smaller you cut it and the more evenly you cut them, the better. So here we have our clear soap base. So this is going to come out perfectly clear, so anything that we put in, such as the lavender or the gold leaf, that will show through. So basically we're just going to cut this into 1 centimetre cubes. Now, depending on how many you plan on making, will depend on how much you cut up. I've got a whole tray here obviously to use, so see how that goes. Doesn't have to be perfect, just near enough is good enough. And then what we're going to do, you can use two methods. You can either use a double boil, which I use for my candle making, but today for soap making I find that it's easier just to use the microwave, which is what we're going to do today. All right, so once you've got them into cubes like this, then you're going to put them into your microwave proof container, heat proof I guess, and microwave safe. These ones haven't been cut yet. All right, like so. Now, the way we do it in the microwave is we do it in bursts of 10 seconds. So the first initial one, I usually make it a little bit longer. So you could probably go 20 to 25 seconds. But the subsequent ones, it's always better just to do 10-second bursts because you don't want to burn the soap. Now, you may also, as we're doing the process, if you're not quick enough, you may also have to put them back into the microwave if it starts to go hard, because it does set. It's not like candle making where, you know, it takes a good 10-15 minutes for something to set. This sets in a matter of seconds, I would say. So you may need to put it back in for a 10-second burst during the middle if you're not quick enough. Now, once you're finished with your soap base, make sure that it goes back in a sealable container, and this will ensure that the air and the glycerin don't attract each other, and you won't get wet moisture on the outside of your soaps. We're also going to show you quickly at the end how to seal in cling wrap or plastic wrap or whatever you call it where you're from, and that will stop the water getting to your soap. Okay, so we're just going to put this in the microwave. I'm going to do 20-second bursts initially, and then I'm going to do 10-second bursts after that until it's all melted, and then we'll come back. Now, while the microwave is doing its trick and melting the soap, what we're going to do is put some of the decorations in here. So we can choose a few of the lavender. That's the store-bought lavender in one. The homegrown, some rose petals. Now, the reason I'm putting these in first is you'll find that the air can get trapped in them. So it's always good to have them in when you're pouring it. And then you might need to use just a little stick just to move it all around and push it down, and I'll show you how to do that, just to try and get the air bubbles out that might be trapped. All right, so we're just going to do that. Now, the gold leaf though, I'm not going to use the gold leaf now, because once I pour it, the gold leaf will just float and move around and it won't be where I want it to be anyway. So, okay. some more rose petals. If you've got any other things that you want to use, perhaps you want to use some sand. If you've got sand from the beach, that's a good exfoliating soap. So some fine sand, you could use that. Maybe even if you wanted to put some bath salts in on the top, so that at the start when you're using the soap, there's that exfoliating property. You can try these things. I haven't tried it myself, but I was thinking of doing a tutorial with that. So that's also another thing you can try. All right, so once you get all of them decorated how you'd like, and then I've left some for the gold leaf. Okay, we're back now. We've got our melted soap, the clear soap. We need to work pretty fast with this. It was in the microwave initially for 20 seconds, and then I did another 50 seconds in 10-second intervals, and it's ready to go. You just have to work with what you've got. You'll find what your microwave it works out at. It just depends on the strength of the microwave. Okay, so basically you're just going to pour this in now. Right, do as much or as little as you want for that clear layer. Okay, now I have mine propped up a little bit just so you can see what I'm doing and how the materials are reacting to the heated soap. You'll find that you will get some discoloration because of the heat. There's really nothing we can do about that because we can't pour cold soap. So once you've done all the ones that you want, and I want to make sure I've got enough to go around, that's why I'm not completely filling everything. And then I may need to put it back into the microwave if it starts to set for my gold leaf. Now you may like to do a couple without anything, just with clear and white. That is also a perfectly good option. Okay, so we have got quite a bit. Now you can see I'm starting to get a skin on the top. And now I will have to make this flat so that I don't end up with lopsided soaps. Okay. So I'm definitely going to have to pop this back in the microwave just to get rid of that skin. And the reason it forms a skin is obviously that's the bit that's coming into contact with the air. So maybe if I can just give it a swirl around, it'll remelt again. Yep, looks like it's doing that. Okay, so let's see if we can get this gold. Right, let's get this poured. Right, so there's one. And then we want to just put the gold leaf. Now, if you wanted the gold leaf towards the front, then obviously you'd need a stick or something to push it down. So I am going to show you what happens if you were to put the gold leaf in first, like I'm doing here. Well, hopefully you can see a little bit there. So what will happen, oh, and in this case it didn't really do that, but what you'll find is underneath that there'll be air bubbles, and that will obviously cause you problems when you're doing the final product and looking at it, because there'll be an air bubble. So you will need a stick and you'll need to push that down. Okay. And there you have it. And so the next step, basically what we're going to be doing is making the white soap and just filling the back ends of these. All right. So what I'll do is quickly get some more gold leaf for these ones. You don't have a lot of time, so you may, gold leaf is a little bit difficult to work with because it sticks to everything. So you really can't prepare it earlier than at the time. So you might choose to do smaller batches, which is always an option. Instead of doing the whole sheet that I've got here, do half of the sheet. It's entirely up to you. But as I've said in many of my other videos, the most important thing is that you're having fun with it. I find this relaxing. This is why I started the YouTube channel. I find that doing these things, it's fun. My kids love it. My family loves it because they get super cool homemade gifts. and a lot of the time for no reason, just because I've got too much of it. So yeah, have fun with it. That's if there's one thing I can say is if you've got time on your hands and you want to do something fun that doesn't cost a lot of money, the soap making is one of those things. It doesn't cost a lot. You don't need a lot of materials, and everyone can use it. Okay, so that's already started to set. So you can see this gold leaf is actually just sitting on top. You can see in here that it's starting to set. So what I'm going to do, I have got some left over, so I've made too much. I'm going to go and get some other molds and we'll make some extra ones. I might just do a big rectangular one to show you that. We'll do that in this. I'll have to reheat this up before we do the white. Okay, so we've put this back in for 15 seconds. So we did 10 and then another 5 and it's ready to go. What I've done here is I've just decorated the 2 rectangular ones. And in this one, I've added some bath salts. So we'll see if that actually works because I've never done that before. And we love trying new things here. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see what happens when we add the wax. It might work, or it might just completely dissolve. I think some of it has actually stayed. So that's really good. All right, and I'll add the last of it there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to put this on a flat surface. If you have molds that have a bit more, what would you say, support, not as soft as these ones, your soaps will probably do better. I haven't used this before, only because it's, you know, when you pick it up it moves and that. So just get that flat and that'll be right. Okay, so we'll leave that to set while we go and clean this out and get a whole another lot of the white. So we've got our white here. I've got it sealed up in the cling wrap so that the air can't get to it and the moisture in the air is attracted to the glycerine, so we don't want that. So we're going to chop up some of this and then we will use it for our soaps that we've got. Okay, we're back. We're just going to spray some of our alcohol spray on these just to get rid of some of the bubbles, which is what you would normally do to bring out the bubbles on the soaps, which is what we've done there. Here we've got our melted white soap. We're going to pour it into some of these and then I'm also going to use some colours as well to show you how to use those. So the colours are not the same as candle colours, so please don't use the same on your skin in soap that you would on a candle. They're not made of the same things and they're not good for your skin. Okay, so we're just going to pour these in. Again, we have to work reasonably fast because this white will set. I've made it a little bit hotter than I did for the clear one because I knew I had to do a lot. Now, I don't have a number of containers, so I'm going to have to just do one colour. We're going to do yellow because we are doing beeswax. So we've got the white ones there. I'm going to mix some of this yellow in. And then what I'll do is I'll mix a different colour in. There we go. Drops. Give it a swirl around. And you can see the yellow coming through there now. Perhaps just another couple of drops. 3 more drops. Okay, so give that a good swirl around. Make sure it's blended in well. Okay, and then we'll start pouring. These are going to be so good once they're set. My girls will be fighting over who gets to use them in the bath tonight. Okay. This one here. And I might just save what's there. We'll do. So if I've got yellow and I'm going to add, what colour will I go? Blue, I should get green in theory. So let's go with a green. I'll try just one drop because the blue, let's see what we get. Oh, okay. It's almost an aqua. All right, and we'll pour that into just its own mold. Now, while they haven't set, you need to spray with your alcohol to get rid of those bubbles. I usually don't do this because I'm just giving them to friends as gifts. I'm not selling them, but if you are selling them, this will enable the bubbles to pop and you'll get a better finished product. Right, so we tidy up our workspace because a clean workspace is always better. And we'll let these set, and then once they're set, we'll show you next. So they've set. Now all you need to do is the fun part, is to pop them out. As easy as that. So you can see you've got the bee, you've got what you put in the clear, and then you've got the two-toned. Okay, let's have a look at the white one. And this is just as beautiful. So you can see that you've got the clear and the white, and then the flowers inside. So they really do make a spectacular bar of soap. These are the perfect size to fit in the palm of your hand as well. And that looks great. That's the gold leaf. That looks fantastic. Okay, so I'll go through and I'll crack all those open in a moment. I wanted to show the rectangular ones as well. Wow, look at that. So we've got the lavender, the store-bought lavender here, and this is the rose petal. So you can see how it does discolour with the heat. There really isn't a lot you can do with that, but you've got the two tones there. Do the other yellow one. This one was the bath salts. So I'm interested to see. Yeah, okay, so it has got the bath salts in there. So, and they are a little bit rough. So as you would use this one maybe for exfoliation, as you would use it, you're going to get just that little bit of roughness. So that's a win. This is our green, our leftover green that we mixed colours. And that's come up a treat as well. Okay, so we'll pop a few more of these out because after all, you've watched it now. These are, and look how easy they come out. So if you don't want to go and buy specific molds for soaps, you can just use silicone molds that you would use in cooking if you have silicone molds. I would suggest that whatever you use needs to be soft and pliable. You don't want something rigid because you won't be able to pop it out. Okay, and another one, and another one. Oh, that one's nice. I like that one. And another one. So you could do any colour. Obviously we've chosen yellow today, but you could choose purple, orange, whatever colours you've got. Or just do the plain colours if you don't want to buy any colours. That's also equally nice. I mean, look how nice that is. That's got a bit of store-bought lavender and the gold leaf. I mean, you can't complain about that. Now the last thing I want to show you after I've popped all these out is how we're going to seal them, because if you leave these out any longer, they're going to attract the moisture in the air and they are going to get wet, and you don't want that yet. You only want that once you want to use them. Okay, so we've got all them out. So what you do is you get some cling film, or we call it Glad wrap, cut them to an appropriate size with a sharp knife. Okay, we're going to put one in. Now you want the face down, the presentable side you want down, and then you're going to just fold it all in on itself so that you get a nice good seal. Okay, now once you've done that, if you don't have a heat gun, I'm going to show you just how you could do it with a lighter. You have to be a little bit more careful because you don't want it to singe and you don't want it to melt. So that's all we do. Seal the back. You can seal the sides as well. So basically it's just shrinking slightly. It's getting rid of all of the air bubbles. Okay, and there you have it, a perfectly sealed bar of soap, ready to use. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to my videos. Please share the videos, like them, put comments down if there's anything you'd like me to do, or if you've got any